Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. For any first time viewers, I'm Jesse Rebirth. And as you can see, we picked up a lot of pops. So if you follow me on Instagram or if you've seen some other videos, I've talked about Karen and I stopped collecting pops altogether basically, but when they announced that they were going to do the sign-filled pops, there was absolutely no way we were going to pass on those. You could see this wasn't all bought in store. Most of them were from Target, but we had to get the Jerry with Pez at Walmart. We had to get the Kramer with sandwich from the Pilot. We had to get Kramer with the little statue that he goes in and takes for George from the cleaner. And the Golf Kramer, all from Funko. And then we got George over here from Target. And we also got this Homelander because he was dope as hell. Loved it. And then we got the Kramer in his underwear from the ad that he ends up doing from Amazon. But you're here because we're going to open up King Kong and Godzilla. Those are the only ones up here. Oh, and Mecha Godzilla that we're actually going to open. So, with all of them moved, we're going to get right down here. I just would like to take a seat. We also got these glasses. It came with one, the Pirate Jerry and the George. They're the Funko glasses, but this is the George, and it says, "For I am Costanza, Lord of the Idiots." Very good quote. Jerry says, "I don't want to be a pirate." But what's happening here is I've had people reach out to me saying they want me to talk about the other type of things we get, because Karen and I like to go toy hunting. It's not always just the big statues. We have some videos that I need to get edited, and it's kind of hard because the statues were naked. So I got to go through and really make sure, you know, that it's edited correctly, because I don't want YouTube to have any reason to get mad at us. But one thing that I found today was so the Tenga warrior. But anyway, we got Ivan Ooze's birds. Yeah, we found this. It's a really heavy toy. I mean, this thing weighs. The minute I picked it up, I was like, this is a solid, thick figure. You can see you're getting a lot of bang for your 20 bucks. The Lightning collection is extremely cool because not only are you getting Power Rangers with a head sculpt and all these extra pieces, which this Zack head sculpt is, I think it's awful. I think the one where Zack with the dragon shield, I think that head sculpt is spot on. But the Lightning collection, 20 bucks a figure. I mean, the SH toys are incredible, but those were 70 bucks a figure. These are prime for hunting. Everyone's all over these. The Pink Ranger shot up to $100. Karen and I seen her in every single Target we went to, and now she is nowhere. But good news, seems like she's going to be re-released, basically. Great figure. Really excited about this. Now, I don't know if you had seen my video about kind of what's going on in pop culture now. But basically I was talking about how I feel about all the woke garbage going on. And a lot of people said that Disney had the right to fire Gina Carano. Well, my whole thing is if you're going to let Pedro Pascal say stuff, you need to let her kind of say stuff too, basically. You need to let them, it's either you come down on both or you come down on no one. It seems like the industry is taking the same idea, because if you haven't noticed what's going on in the industry as of late, let me go ahead and move these guys over. Obviously, Godzilla has been kicking for a little while now with the Godzilla and then Godzilla King of All Monsters, or was it Destroy All Monsters? Whatever the second one was. And then we had Godzilla vs. Kong, and we had Kong Skull Island separately. But they went backwards. And they're doing G.I. Joe now. And they're doing a re-release, basically, of the little figures, but updated. We got these new figures, and these are going off, basically, the Lightning Collection motto. They're Hasbro as well, so it makes sense. It's kind of like a Marvel Legends type idea. But you can see, awesome Cobra Commander. 2 sets of hands. We got a sword and a pistol. Very cool figure. Now, one thing that Karen and I have been going crazy over is we've been hunting the He-Man toys. Now these things, when you see them out in the wild If you don't get them immediately, you will not get them. So we went to one Target, found all 3 deluxe figures. They do have the rotating chest, I believe. So yeah, so you can switch the battle damage to non-battle damage. He-Man with the 2 heads, very cool. Throwback to the original retro. Digging all the extra stuff we get with these. Very cool. Now one thing, same with the Skeletor heads. If you go to a Walmart, and this is kind of what I was telling you about, how I feel about pop culture, going backwards is so much funner than dealing with all the new nonsense. So I basically told Karen, we bought the whole series of He-Man. I remember it from as a child, but Karen never watched it. She watched Thundercats all the time. Thundercats and He-Man are a lot alike. Same era, same idea. We love them. But Karen and I were going all over the place. So we ran into one of these. And I said to Karen bought me a Panther already, but we got it at Target. And I said, was ours furry? When we saw this in Walmart, and she thought it was, but when we got home, we realized it was not. This is basically a Walmart exclusive. It's got the realistic fur. It's flocked. They're $39.99, but these things are sold out all over the state. Now, if I do not know where I set the normal one, but we found this at a Walmart. We got the Grayskull Castle, Castle Grayskull with the Sorceress figure. Very cool. Karen saw a kid carrying one in Walmart, and we had to find our own. I know you could get it at Big Bad Toy Store, but it costs about $10 more. You have to pay for shipping and everything, and you can see all this stuff going on right here on the back. The thing is any Walmart you go to, you can find He-Man and Skeletor. You can find Battle Cat and the normal Panther a lot. Maybe Adam on the Sky Sled, but everyone else, gone. Absolutely gone. People are going absolutely crazy for these figures. When we went out to the Walmart that we did, it's a Walmart in a kind of like it's a rougher part of town, and we found 3 of these flocked Panthers. So we got all 3 of them. We bought one to open, one to keep in the package, and we'll see what we do with the 3rd one. But it's so cool that these are straight up the retro figures. So you can see here we got these Mega Constructs. They're basically like a Lego. They're just as expensive in a way, but they've been doing He-Man like this. They have a Castle Grayskull that was like $280. That thing is incredible, but we haven't went there. We have the little ones of these. We have the He-Man and Beastman. You can find these at your Walmart, and that's what Karen. So my birthday had just passed a couple weeks ago, and Karen had actually bought me basically all Skeletor things for my birthday, because I told her, I said, when I was a kid, I loved He-Man, and I had He-Man. I still have him somewhere. We have them packed away, basically, but I have old He-Man toys, and she kind of knows how I feel about everything, so we were like, you know what? I like them. I like them. That's all it takes for us to decide we were going to go all in. You can see this one. This was at a Target. It's this 2-pack. There was 3 of these at the Target, and I made a joke with her. I said, you know, I bet you by the next time we come to this Target, this Origin set is going to be gone. And we went there just because that we go there, you know, to get groceries and stuff. Gone. Completely gone. Sold out. But this is kind of just the stuff I don't talk about too much. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I post some of this stuff. It's like we've had this forever. Haven't decided if I'm going to end up opening these and stuff, but just more of the Lightning Collection. Alpha 5 was Zordon. Just really cool stuff. The toys they're doing now, like these normal figures, are so cool and so collectible. It's just like, what a wonderful time it is to be a collector. One thing, too, I know I don't do this a lot, but I couldn't pass this guy up. Look at this Iron Man. Like, he is way too cool. Very Robert Downey Jr. kind of inspired looking. Very classic Iron Man suit. That's what got me. And then the helmet. They're doing a stealth version with the same sculpt. With a normal, not an AI head. And then they're doing like an extremis looking suit. So I know I've talked a lot about Marvel and how this, when I was talking that I'm not a big fan of Marvel, I always meant the MCU. I used to read Marvel. I was a kid too. I've read all those Iron Man books like Extremis and whatnot. I thought that book was awesome when he ends up putting himself in the cocoon and making it to where his skin opens and his suit flows on and the armor hooks to it. I liked all that. I loved that stuff, but I thought this Marvel Legends toy was awesome. We also bought a Wolverine recently, but the main reason we're here today is we wanted to open these and we thought we would share that experience with you. So, growing up, I was way into Godzilla. Not King Kong so much. I always thought Kong was kind of lame compared to Godzilla, but that's because back then we only had the really old King Kong movie and then the Godzilla vs. King Kong. I liked them for as much as they were, but I was a Godzilla fan. I had the VHS tapes. I remember at Costco we got this pack where Godzilla was looking at the train, and each VHS tape had a sliver of that picture. When you had them all together in the set they came, it formed the picture like most VHSs back in the day, like when you'd get your Dragon Ball Z VHSs from Suncoast. If you got the whole Android saga, it'd form a picture of the androids basically. But back then, I was obsessed with Godzilla. And they had that cartoon. We used to go to this place called the Loveland Outlet Mall. Or the Loveland Outlets. Something like that. And they had this really, I wouldn't say run down, but it was the toy store for the mall. This toy store would get all the toys that did not sell at other mall or other stores basically, and they'd be extremely discounted. But I remember getting a Godzilla and a Mecha Godzilla from there right when I was getting into Godzilla at the time. They were pretty cool. They were pretty big, really good detail, good likeness for the time. I got the Ronin Warrior figures, which I wish I knew where those were, but you would pull their weapons out of runners basically. Very cool toy store. Too bad it does not exist anymore today. But I was in a Walmart and I shot Karen a picture of this guy, and I didn't know how she felt about it. When I seen it, I loved it. But, you know, if she wasn't on board, I was just kind of like, whatever. They had them both. By the time I got home, she told me, "You didn't get it?" So I said, "Oh shit, we were supposed to get it." And she said, "Yeah." And by the time we went up there, there was only one of each of them left. When I was there, there was two of each, and every other Walmart we had been to, never even seen them. I mean, these guys go like crazy. They still have LeBron, which, if you know me, I don't like him. They still have the Optimus Primes. Sometimes you can find He-Man, but sometimes you'll get lucky and find a Superman. We know that if you go to the Walmarts where they lock their Funkos and stuff like that, all their collectibles they get up, they usually have a lot better of a selection. But we like the new movies for what they are. The Godzilla movie, I thought there wasn't enough Godzilla in it. And I get you gotta have the human element. It's kind of like American movies. The story revolves around the humans a lot, but when you watch the Japanese ones, not so much. It more revolves around Godzilla and how these humans are going to deal with it. There's always a main character and we watch their story, but we get a lot of good Godzilla stuff. The thing is Godzilla vs. King Kong, we all knew it was going to be like Batman v Superman. Right when we started watching it, I mentioned to Karen, I was like, I bet you Mecha Godzilla's in this movie. Because if you know anything about Mecha Godzilla, it felt like he was going to be in the movie. I think the design for him is cool, but I don't think it's as cool as they even designed him in Ready Player One. I think his design in Ready Player One was a much better likeness. And I get they were going off of the design of this Godzilla mixed with a mechanized Godzilla. But this is only the second figure I've seen out in the wild of Mecha Godzilla. We saw the kind of Godzilla toy line they've been doing for these figures. We saw Mecha Godzilla for that. And we've seen this guy. And if you check it out, this Funko is pretty sweet. He's got the spine running down, or the spikes running down his spine. It's cute. Funko knows what they're doing. If you watch my old videos, you'll see me sitting in front of a wall of Funkos. And I don't know, we kind of fell off of Funkos just because we think the series they started doing just really wasn't worth the collecting. But you can see right here on the back of his box, I'm assuming these are the large ones. Yeah, 10-inch. And this one, I would enjoy having him too. I'm not interested in any of the King Kong ones. Nothing to do against King Kong, but I'm happy with just the big one. I think the Prime 1 statues they're doing are incredible, especially if you buy the set. I even dig the busts that they're doing for Kong and for Godzilla and Kong. I dig this. You can see some of the destroyed city in the background. Very cool. I kind of dig the story, you know, for we knew they would team up because when you got two fan favorites like this, you're not going to kill them off against each other. That was highly, you know, it was highly predictable. But he's light. I'd almost say this guy feels thicker and more solid than him. But, yeah, you can tell he's kind of like a little hollow-ish. This is the first large figure we've ever opened. Karen has a Chucky that she's never opened, and I believe we have someone else. Oh.
We have Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge, but we also have the guy from the Haunted Mansion. I can't think of his name.
Me too.
Ezra.
Yeah, Ezra. Yeah. We have two of them.
Yep, because one was such on sale we couldn't pass it up. I know, we're weird. One thing I will say, so I had someone ask me, and I'm getting to the comments, that's why I was a little late on a video editing and this. Someone asked me, with all the cool statues and stuff and all that, why do I mess around with McFarlane figures? They're my roots. I mean, I started collecting little figures far before I ever got into this stuff. Ever since I was a little kid, I was always a collector. I was a strange kid. I'd play with my toys, but I'd just sit there and look at them and admire them. I still remember the Black Ranger. I always thought his helmet was so cool. Like when I'd play, I remember my grandma had this leather step stool, and I'd always lean on it and play with my toys on it. And I just remember I always liked the blue and the black helmets for those two Rangers because I was like, oh, they're just so cool. And I just admire them at a really young age. I wasn't just bashing them together. I was a kid who took care of his toys as he grew up. Like, it was weird. I liked them to just look at them in a weird way, and you can see what that turned into. But that's what I got to say about it. Ooh, he's kind of top heavy. He's very cute too. I like it. The eyes take all the ferociousness out of these two guys. They're very adorable. But collecting was just something I did ever since I was a kid. And when I got out of high school, I was collecting. So at the time, the vintage Star Wars collection had just kicked off a couple years before. And I remember I was really into those, but they were kind of expensive. And I was working at a GameStop at the time. And this was such a long time ago. I made $5.52 an hour to work at the GameStop in Flatirons Mall. And I would show up every day baked out of my mind. I'd talk to my boss, James, about video games and customers about video games. And it was a fun time. It was really cool. Life was different in the early 2000s. There was just something different. This is about 2004 when I was doing this. But I remember we had an Xbox 360 in there, and this was the time when they were releasing. We had pre-orders and everything for them. But it was a really good time, and I would collect the little Star Wars toys. And then as I graduated high school, they would repackage the Star Wars toys every couple years, and I was keeping up with those. I was doing the Ralph McQuarrie concepts. I still had all my McFarlane toys stacked away. I would collect video games, and I'd beat them all 100%. I'd go for all my achievements. At that time it was 360 because Halo really led me to the 360, but then I bought a PS3 because Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots came out. I actually camped out in front of a Best Buy for literally like 3 hours thinking this thing was going to sell out because how much I loved Metal Gear. I thought everyone was fanatical about it. I think they are a little more now, or were. There was end up a line of maybe like 20 people, but I was there for hours before it came out, and it was just stupid because I was the only person up until like 45 minutes before. But they handed me a PS3 bundle when I went through the door, and my PS3 was one of the only ones. Well, I don't know about if they did, but I got it home, worked for about 5 minutes, and had an internal problem with it, and I had to return it and get another bundle. So luckily they were still there at that Best Buy. But I would even get the video games that came with things. I have the Halo 3 Master Chief helmet. Always a major collector. And then Hot Toys up the game. I used to sit on a laptop all the time, and I would just stare at the Metacom Darth Vader, Metacom Boba Fett and Stormtrooper, and I was comparing them to this other company that had like a metal structure inside, and you had to dress it. I don't even remember what it is at this time. But when I wasn't at GameStop anymore, I had better money than that. I was actually at FedEx Ground, and all of a sudden, Hot Toys jumped on my radar in 2008 with The Dark Knight, and I'd look at Metacom's Batman and Joker. It all started with Joker. I'd look at Metacom's Joker, I'd look at Hot Toys Joker, and I was looking at the Takakara, I think it was Takakara. Still have him, Takakara Batman Begins figure. And I got him first because he was already out. And then I ended up getting the Hot Toys Joker. And I have him. He's the very first one. I actually have two of him now. But that led me to the Dark Knight Batman, which I have sitting on the Bat Pod. He's the one with the all rubber suit. People had ones that would leak through their suit. And then, Bank Robber Joker, and then Two-Face, and then people would kit bash back then. And you'd buy single parts on eBay. So that, that Joker came with two heads. So if you get enough parts for that Joker, you could make two of them, basically. And then it turned out that I bought two of them, and then I used a head for the nurse. It mushroomed. And then I went to premium formats, and then premium formats started to get so expensive, and then Prime 1 jumped in with $800 statues, and premium formats were already climbing up to like 700 something with that Kylo Ren. That was like, well, premium formats are kind of becoming outdated, and now we're just going to move to Prime 1, and that's kind of how we got here. Still love Hot Toys. They're still my first high-end collectible. I still love McFarlane because those go back way, way back with me. But that's kind of why I still buy these little things, because we enjoy it. We have the funds to do it, and we enjoy it. And I mean, look at these little guys. These are cute. One will go on each side of our TV in our room. I mean, they're the characterization they give these little guys is just adorable. Just kidding. But look at them together. Like, how cool is that? I like the 10-inch figures. I would actually, it's kind of like with Iron Man. I'm not really collecting any more 1/6 scale Iron Mans besides the Mark V's. I think those are incredible, but I would rather collect 1/4 Iron Mans because I think they're a lot cooler from Hot Toys, and they just reissued. I used to know every single suit of his, but I just stopped paying attention. But I bought the one from Iron Man 3, and they just reissued that version, deluxe and all. Great figure. This was before I made reviews. You can hook the car battery up to him and you can carry it. Love it. Really cool figure. I'm of the mind where I don't mind reissues at all, because for you, if you didn't buy it, why should you have to spend $1,200 on one and hope someone wants to sell theirs? Well, I have him, and it's just sitting on a shelf, and I'm enjoying him, but he's kind of old news, like, and then I don't really want to sell him, but if I did, then I'm going to regret it. But I think I like reissues because it gives people a chance that missed it to get it, and I kind of saw people freaking out on McFarlane Toys just this week, where they put out the metal Batman months ago, the one that came with the arms of a Build-A-Figure Merciless. I will say I think they did this way too soon, because you can still buy him with the Build-A-Figure parts and everything, but they're putting out a re-release of him in a different set of packaging with 3 red scratches on his side and on his legs, and people are freaking out saying it's just a cash grab and they're canceling all their McFarlane Toys and they're done. Alright, maybe someone doesn't want the Build-A-Figure parts, they just want this Batman. You do one thing when you collect, you do not have to buy every single thing McFarlane puts out. If someone does, that's their choice. If you don't, that's your choice. You don't have to buy the variants, you don't have to buy any of this stuff. So if they put out the same thing, slightly different, there's no reason to be mad. When I saw it, I showed it to Karen, and I said, you see that they put him out without the Build-A-Figure parts. He's got 3 red scratches. If you're a completionist, it'd be great. I didn't tell her this, but I was thinking it, but I immediately did not think anything of it. I was just like, whatever. One thing I will mention, they're re-releasing duels. Like, they're going to do... I was on this website, Toys Wonderland, just the other night, and they have McFarlane pre-orders that... Who knew that these were even happening? But they're doing the Batman Who Laughs with Robins. It's going to be a set. They're doing White Knight versus Azrael, I assume, in the black Batman armor. They are doing a San Diego Comic-Con Darkseid with armor. No pictures of any of these, but the titles were there to pre-order them. But it's like $40 to ship this thing from China to here. There's no way. I'd rather pay people, even on eBay, just to get it here. But they had 66 Batman in swimming trunks, 66 Riddler, 66, all these different ones. They had 2 packs, and then they have like Superman Unchained, Gold Label, Superman Rebirth, and it was really weird because they have Justice League, Batman Without Mask, and I thought he was an Entertainment Earth exclusive, which they say he is, but he's available on their website. So, and it's not like inflated crazy. It's $25. But we did find an Aquaman in the wild. That's the thing is if you pre-order these at, say, Big Bad Toy Store, they're all $19.99. It'll take months to get them. But if you go to a Walmart and you're lucky, they're $15.88 at Walmart, and you get them months earlier. But he's going to be re-releasing a lot of figures in different combos and everything. They just put out the pre-order for the White Knight motorcycle, Batcycle. Super sweet. Such a killer design. But it's kind of just my thoughts on toys at the moment. Kind of went off on a tangent. But that's just kind of how I feel about these things. I don't feel like the video always has to be about just what's here in front of me. Kind of want to tell you my thoughts on everything, and if that's not for you, keep scrolling, I guess. But those who actually follow me and I read your comments, I know you like this type of stuff, and that's actually what this video was. It's for you guys. You guys wanted to hear what I'm getting. When I showed that I had the He-Man stuff in that other video, people were excited about it. They didn't know that I actually collected He-Man. I do. Love He-Man. Like what Super 7's doing too. Their Thundercats with the tank and everything. We like their He-Man stuff. This is the new age of toys. These toys are they're all about $50. Like the Cyberfrog toys, we cannot wait until July 4th to pre-order these things. But most of these toys nowadays are about $50. Sounds crazy, but Mezco's about 70, 90. Mafex, 70, 80, 90. If you wait 3 days too long, Venom will turn $200. That's a story for another day, but $50 toy with all kinds of bells and whistles. It might not be for you, but luckily they're doing things like these Marvel Legends figures, $20. You get extra hands. Like these high-end toys have caused these other companies to up their game. One thing I would like to say, I was on Hasbro Pulse. Didn't even know this website existed. They did a crowdfunding campaign for a century. That thing's supposed to be huge, just like the comics or the movie, whatever. These companies get it. They're listening, they're watching each other, and they're competing with one another. And they're upping their game for you, and you are the winner. We all are the winner. They're the winners. Obviously, they're the money they're pulling in, but we want these things. So, with all that being said, I love you guys. And ladies, we found out that 39.9% of my audience was women. Blew me away. Did not think that was possible. Nothing to say that women don't like this stuff. I just didn't think any were paying attention other than Karen. But happy to have you aboard. We love you all. We want you all to sub and leave a comment and a like in the below. Sub so you get more of these videos, but most of all, remember, keep buying toys.